The UK's nuclear industry has an unprecedented opportunity ahead. To grasp it, we need strong national leadership, sector collaboration and alignment between programmes. Success will create a thriving national industry which is valued in the UK and globally exportable. Failure could bring an energy crisis, failed national programmes and the collapse of an industry. We are staring this danger in the face. We must therefore take positive action to ensure we realise this opportunity and maximise the benefits to the UK as a whole. This will only happen if we collaborate as an industry. My talk, which are all my own views, will very briefly touch on some of the features of national nuclear programmes in the UK, US and France, and will include such topics as the emergence of shale gas, nuclear research and development funding, fundamental approaches to industrial strategies, and support for nuclear education and international relationships. Our nuclear industry is unique, both in our national capability and our maturity. Until fairly recently, our nuclear industry was static, with a focus on management of current assets, programmes and waste. During this period of stability, the need to change the way we operate was limited. But as investment comes on stream and programmes mature, we need to revisit the way in which we do business. Since 2000, the industry has changed, and that change is continuing. In both the defence and more recently in the civil industry, significant investment is on the horizon, and with it comes challenge, but also great opportunity. The UK has declared that we will modernise our nuclear deterrent. The 2006 White Paper and the 2010 Strategic Defence and Security Review are clear policy statements for its retention. Investment in supporting both the new naval nuclear reactor programme and the warhead programme. The Successor submarine continues through the procurement process with significant investment in Rolls-Royce Rainsway plant at Derby to design and manufacture the PWR3 reactor. Investment in AWE continues under the Capability Sustainment Programme and the Facility Rebuild Programme, which has already delivered successful capabilities such as the Orion Laser Facility. Progress is continuing on Replacement Assembly Facility Mensa and on others agreed under the Chitatis Treaty between the UK and France, including a joint hydrodynamics research facility and the Technology Development Centre. These programmes are over and above the day-to-day operations of the Royal Navy, wider MOD, BAE Systems and Babcock, which still require investment for many years to come. Transition between platform programmes will see a peak in demand for skills. For example, the Royal Navy as it accrues two classes of ballistic submarine. Therefore, even when the current investment projects come to an end, there will still be an enduring need for long-term investment to support the skills and innovation. In the civil nuclear industry, the UK has gone significantly further than stating national policy. The Department of Energy and Climate Change and Business Innovation and Skills jointly published the nuclear strategy in March this year. This comprehensive suite of supporting documents not only cover the industrial strategy, but also include the long-term nuclear energy strategy, which included a national industrial vision statement, a research and development roadmap, and an economic benefit statement. There is consequently a contrast between the two approaches to policy and strategy of the civil and defence communities in the UK. Should there be this greater collaboration between the two sectors? The question remains, however, how can the UK maximise benefit from the unprecedented opportunity presented by the current and future planned investment in the UK nuclear industry? There is a balance to be struck between investment by government and free market economies, particularly between the defence and civil sectors, and again between R&D and programme delivery. These interfaces need to be managed. In France, the CNRS is a public organisation in the Higher Education and Research Ministry. The research institute it controls include the National Institute of Nuclear and Particle Physics, which works in partnership with the CEA, and the Military Applications Division. Within the CEA, the balance between civil and military is split 50-50 with a workforce of 4,500 in each. The CEA has a long-established approach to exploiting defence research for the civil programme, and vice versa. As long ago as 1973, for example, the CEA annual report discussed the need to adapt to taking advantage of the civilian programme to limit cost. France seemingly has never divorced civil and military nuclear programmes, and their nuclear labs are at the centre of the industry. Should the UK aspire to such visible return on investment from the UK defence industry? In the US, the picture is similar. The Department of Energy and the Battelle Institute both conducting publicly funded research. The DOE has funded university nuclear science, engineering and research education programs, which has bolstered the industry's workforce and mitigated the industry's demographic problems. The number of undergraduates enrolling in nuclear-based courses in the US has closely tracked investment from the DOE. The UK, on the other hand, significantly lags the R&D spending of the US at £1 billion and France at £700 million, and our investment is far from its peak in the 1980s. The intellectual property generated from the government investment, be it civil or defence, must be exploited for the benefit of the country. France has recognised this. The UK has established nuclear R&D in both the civil and defence communities, with a change in recent months of government approach towards civil sector. The US and France have different approaches to sustaining their nuclear industries. France has continually invested in its civil and defence programmes, regularly bringing defence systems or civil reactors into service, whereas the US has opted for life extension programmes and stewardship of the stockpile. The long-term affordability of the nuclear energy in the US is dependent upon gas prices and the success of shale gas extraction. The long-term sustainability of these approaches will become apparent through the skills base, future programmes and future investment, etc. There is a warning, however. The French civil nuclear generation programme has oversold itself and has struggled to keep pace with global demand for expertise. The UK has an excellent nuclear relationship with both the US and France. We have a special relationship with the US primarily built on defence, while our relationship with France is on civil power and more recently defence research. The UK is unique, but we do have a mix of issues that affect both France and the US. I do not advocate copying organisational structures of our partners just for the sake of it. Organisations currently exist in the UK nuclear industry which are able to respond to the needs of the community. We should investigate, however, how our industry could benefit and evolve. In looking to the lessons we and others have learnt, we must be open to looking at new models and new ways of working and be responsible and flexible enough to react. The nuclear community in the UK is fragmented, and although it is unlikely or desirable to create a completely integrated enterprise, we must do more to remove the barriers of internal collaboration and exploitation of investment. We can avoid the problems which inaction will bring only if government, industry and academia work together. Investment will be required from all to support the growth in education, skills and R&D. We cannot and must not look at the problem from our individual vantage points, but as an enterprise. Take, for example, the nuclear regulatory community, which is vital to the success of industry as a whole. We must therefore ensure that experienced and qualified people are available as required. This will require investment of time and resource and should be driven centrally. The opportunity for the UK nuclear industry is well recognised, especially in the defence sector. So too have the challenges. This is not a nuclear generation problem or a civil R&D problem or a nuclear waste problem or an NSQEP problem or a facility new build problem or a nuclear security problem or an organisational structure problem or an investment problem. It's all of these. To realise the full opportunity and to succeed with our nuclear programme, it would take strong leadership with all parts of the enterprise adopting a role and collaborating. Only then will the nuclear dream become a reality.